Hello, welcome. We are live. I am Lindsay Gerhard coming to you live from Ottawa, and we are going to do Never Have I Ever Breast Cancer Edition. So just a little intro about me. I am a two-time breast cancer slayer. I live in Ottawa, but I went through active treatment in Los Angeles. I just recently explanted my reconstructed breast in November. And so I've been dealing with that recovery. And yeah, I consider myself creative, chatty. I love hanging out on Instagram with everyone at the Daily Lindsay. I find the support community there is amazing. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'll throw it over to you, Tamika.
Wonderful. Thanks for that, Lindsay. So everyone, hello and welcome. My name is Tamika Talks. I am a lifestyle, travel, and kick breast cancer advocate. Don't want to use any bad words here. I'm based in the Philadelphia area. I am approximately a 10-year triple negative breast cancer thriver. You can find me over on Instagram at Tamika Talks, and on everywhere else, I'm usually at Life and Pumps. Stop by, drop me a message, let's talk, and let's figure out how we can, get over this breast cancer stuff. But what we're going to do today is something that we did last year. We loved it. And so we were so excited that they invited us to come back. It is called Never Ever Have I Breast Cancer Edition. So we're putting a little swing on it. Now, this conversation is not just for the survivors, it's for the co-survivors as well, because let's face it, you've been there with us hand in hand dealing with all of it. So some of these answers you might know as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to pose a question to you. And if it's you, say yes in the comments and add some little tea to it if you can. So here's an example for you. Never have I ever been the youngest person in the oncology office. Come on, let's raise that hand.
That's pretty much all of us, right?
Absolutely, right. Pretty much all of us. So that's how the game is going to flow. We want to see your comments as well as your yes when you raise your hand. So Lindsay, I'll kick it over to you.
All right, so I'm going to kick it off with the first one. Make sure if you have a story to put it in the chat, because we're going to take turns sharing some of those and shouting them out. And we'd love to hear what you all have to say too. So here we go. First one. Never have I ever been going through early menopause and still had to take a pregnancy test before surgery. Mine actually almost got canceled because I didn't take one. But I had to tell them, like, hey, I'm on tamoxifen. I'm not supposed to be taking this stuff.
Right.
So.
Right. Wow. Look, we are getting lots of yeses, especially from being the youngest person in the oncology office. I'm sure we can all relate to that. As for me and the whole like pre-menopause and all of that, listen, I don't know why no one is really like giving us full details on this. It is horrible. So yes, I'm raising my hand a million times.
Does anyone find it triggering?
Yes. Oh, how about that?
Comment in the comments.
Yes. Look, we have a lot of people. They're saying so many times. Someone said she had her fallopian tubes removed, and they said because I have a uterus, she still has to take a pregnancy test. Come on, guys, like that's triggering. Really, Rachel? We're with you on that. My goodness. And I hope you gave them an earful. And then Ashley is saying yes. And before her injections, even though she's on Lupron. Like, come on. Like, sometimes you kind of feel like, are you really reading my medical chart? But, what can we do? We got to follow the rules, because if we don't, then they're not going to do what we need them to do. It sucks sometimes. So here's my prompt for you. Okay. Never have I ever had a COVID swab up my nose more times than you can count just to get a procedure or a treatment. Anybody? Yep, look at that. We are getting the comments, because we all know right now, in order for you to pretty much get anything done at a hospital or facility, you've got to get a COVID test. So I feel like, I'm a pro at doing it at this point, just kind of doing it with my eyes closed, going ahead.
Oh my gosh, we're being flooded with yeses.
Yes. Hopefully we'll be over that part at some point. Let's cross our fingers.
And then Bethany says the dreaded wait for the results.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Tawny's using the crying emoji too many times.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Marta is saying, oh dear Lord, yes, 6 surgeries during COVID.
Oh my God, Marta. We're hoping that is the end. You don't need any more surgeries and you are on the free and clear end, because that's a lot.
Oh, here Ashley's saying no to the test, but I have to answer the screening questions every time.
Yes.
Dang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't think that part is ever going to go away. I think it's going to be a part of what we have to do every time we walk into a doctor's office at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's go on to the next prompt. Oh, okay. Here we go. Never have I ever had a favorite nurse to draw blood or start my chemo infusion. Anyone? Not all nurses are created equal. I can tell you that. Like the first time I went into chemo, my port had just been put it in like a week before that, and it was still swollen from the surgery. And they had to stick me like a dozen times. This guy, I felt so bad for him. It was awful. And so ever since then, he was definitely not my favorite nurse.
Yeah, absolutely. Wait, I just happened to pop into the chat, and
Okay.
Missy is saying what's even worse than these COVID tests is when they tell you you handled the swab better than chemo. Are you kidding me? Like, stop comparing that. That's horrible, 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 horrible. I hope no one ever else has to hear that again. But my response is I had two favorite nurses at my center. One of them retired and the other one passed away. So my oncologist knows that I am triggered in coming into her office when I need to get blood work. And so lately she's been doing it for me because I'm like, I don't trust those other people. She's like, I trained them, I was like, bring them in the office and let them see what you're doing because I don't like needles. So, this whole chemo process was a lot for me. Yeah.
For sure. And it can be dehumanizing when you're stuck so many times. Like, I so appreciate when a nurse takes the time to like learn how to stick someone and be gentle and just be sensitive that people hate needles. It's a real stress. So,
wow. Someone is saying that Sandy is saying that she feels like she almost never gets the same nurse. That's a lot. And I feel like oftentimes your nurse is your first line of defense. And so when you build that rapport up with them, you kind of look forward to seeing them. I know that was the case for me. Every time I went to chemo, it was all about my shoes. So they were always looking for my shoes. And that was a conversation that we shared. And she would like save pictures of shoes that she saw on sale or something she thought I liked. So it was, it kind of reduced some of the stress. So I'm sorry that that's happening with you. Let's see, what else? Let me see. Oh, look, Deb is saying that she loves her nurse, Atlanta. She's the only one that can access her port correctly. And we all know how important that is. So yeah, that's cool. A big thing. Absolutely. That's a big thing. All right. What about this one? Full disclosure, literally, I did this before I got on here. Never have I ever stood in front of the freezer or AC during a hot flash. Come on. Don't leave me out here alone.
Same.
Yeah, like literally before I got on here, that's what I was doing. I know you got your fan. I got some paper. I got a fan going. It is insane. Just the hot flashes, they come from nowhere. Yeah. And just quickly as they arrive, they can be gone. So I'm sorry. Right. If you have not experienced it, good for you. I hope it does.
We're getting a lot of yeses. I have to say, like, mine gets so bad that like I have to have, like, when I do events like this, I got to pull out my big fan, got to get my little handkerchief and just like be ready because the lights and it gets so hot.
All of it. Yeah. I don't even need lights to be hot. Like it's
oh
what
my gosh, we're being flooded with yeses. LOL. Yup, says Hannah. Katie says,
yeah, look at it. Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Annie Appleseed says, yep, done that. Freezer.
Yes. But what I will tell you all is something you should definitely mention to your oncologist, because I recently learned that it's not something that we have to suffer through. So make certain that you're letting them know that it's happening. Maybe they can reduce the occurrences, but definitely let them know and have it noted in your chart.
Cynthia has a great tip: wipes in the fridge when you need it on the go.
Oh, I like that. I like that. And I keep wipes. I like that tip. That's a really good tip. Yeah.
Andrea
There's some really great tips. Hopefully you guys are reading the chat as well. There's some really great tips going on in the chat. Yes.
Okay. Let's see here. How about, all right. Never have I ever gotten your first tattoo and it was on your nipple. It's very specific. There's a lot of tattoos involved with treatment, but on a nipple, not me.
Right, absolutely.
I haven't had that. Anyone? I did get tattoos for radiation treatment though, so I could get lined up with them.
Got it. Yes, yes.
What about you, Tamika?
So you know what? I actually had a tattoo before chemo, and I was a rebellious teenager. And once my parents were like, "Go ahead, we don't care," so I went and got one. And then I got one again with my sorority sisters. So I already had a tattoo, and surprisingly, as a part of Reconstruction, they asked me if I wanted to tattoo nipples, and I was like, "No, why bother?" So I didn't even do that part. But I've seen some really good ones.
Yeah,
it's you know what we do? We all get in the room and we're like, "Let me see your scars," and so that's what we do. Oh, but look, we have some people who are talking about eyebrows. That's a big one. A lot of people are doing that because your eyebrows never really grow back the same way, and so people are, we eyebrows are important. That was the one thing that I tell people all the time. Eyelashes, eyebrows, and little lip goes a long way. You don't even gotta have a full face of makeup, but it makes you feel a little better. So absolutely, look at that. Look at that. All right, let me see. What's our next question here? All right, so, oh, this is a good one. Never ever have I had a lucky charm or ritual for each breast cancer treatment. Raise your hand. Like I said, so for me, my strength literally came from shoes. Every time I would go to chemo, I always wore these pink pumps that I had. And I don't know what it was. It just made me feel so beautiful and so proud and so excited. And then it got to a point where when I would go back from my other appointments, I would wear different shoes. So shoes became a conversation piece for me in the treatment center. And oftentimes they would say, can you go in and talk to, this young person or a person who just been diagnosed and kind of help her lift her spirits. And I always say, find something that gives you joy, whatever it is, a car, a purse, a lipstick, some candy, whatever it is, and bring that with you and have that with you, in the process of your treatment. What about you?
Candace G is saying she makes an origami crane for every single treatment. I like that idea.
Oh, I love that. And they have really healing powers behind them.
Oh yeah.
I love that. That is really cool. That actually would be a really good exercise to do online so that people can see. Use it for great things, because not just for breast cancer. Oh, I love that. That is really cool.
So my lucky charm was the one I found the most fun was during radiation. Well, as fun as treatment can be. During radiation, I wore a different color of lipstick to each treatment. I have an extensive lipstick collection. I used to be obsessed with makeup. So I would wear my lippy. I would wear a different color, blue, hot pink, brown, whatever it was. And then I would also post it to my Instagram, The Daily Lindsay, and raise breast cancer awareness for.
Oh, I love that.
And it was just the little pick me up that I needed and helped make the 33 doses go so far.
Yeah,
go by quickly.
Yes. Yeah. Look, we're getting other comments. Sassy socks. I love that. I feel like the only time I wore socks really was when I was in treatment. I'm not a big sock person, but I like colorful socks. I love that. Look, someone else is saying funky scarves that have been gifted from friends and family. And she uses it as a conversation starter, made her feel pretty, like she still had long hair. That is great. I love that. That's something that people should think about. And there are places where you can get scarves donated to you. I know I've given a lot of my scarves away that I didn't need, at the end of treatment. So that's cool.
Tawny's saying that she would pick a song to dance to right before treatment. I love that. Dancing is just the best way to release all those anxious, nervous vibes before.
Perfect. Look, and you see where someone is blasting Britney Spears.
Oh, she's amazing.
I love it. I love it. All right, so it looks like we only have about 5 more minutes. So let's see.
Okay, let's go. Let's do, okay. Never have I ever been asked, can I see your foobs? Okay, this is funny though. I've done it in a retreat setting, with a bunch of other breasties, and it's been called show and tell. So for the people who are still planning their treatment, their reconstruction, or, maybe going flat, you have this, it's of course voluntary. No one is pressured to do this. But you just kind of hang out and just, show and tell and say what you've done. And it's a really actually smart way of getting real firsthand,
Yes, absolutely. And I feel that after we've gone through so much poking and prodding and everyone looking and touching, we're really not shy about our boobs anymore. So that's why I said, other times we'll get in the room anyway and we'll share them and show them to pretty much whomever wants to see them. And I think that it definitely does help a new survivor who's trying to figure out, course of treatment. What do yours look like? What do yours feel like? I'm like, well, you can touch them because, it doesn't even matter at this point.
Yes.
What are other people saying? Yes, we're getting lots of yeses.
Oh, then Bethany's saying, I'm flat, but I'm very proud of my scars. I mean, even with show and tell, if you're flat, I feel like that's still very important because there needs to be more reconstruction awareness about that option that I feel like not a lot of people talk about. It wasn't really talked about, when I was first diagnosed in 2015, and I just recently explanted my implant. So, but that's only because I kept hearing it from the flat community, the flatties out there. Hi.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a really great movement. I love that, how they're encouraging people. Donna says she pleads the fifth. And Faith says her 3-year-old daughter asks to see her uniboob all the time. I love that. And I love that your daughter has some awareness, even at 3. It's never too early to start. Yes. Oh, that's right. Annie Amblesey, how are you? I see that you've been flat since 1996. And I know you talk about that a lot. Let's see.
Do we have time for one more? How are we doing?
Let's do one more and then we'll have to close out. All right. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Never have I ever enjoyed the heck out of not having to shave during chemo. Yeah.
It's the little things, right?
It is, and I tell people, find the joy where you can get it. For me, it was, I cut my hair before it fell out and I did all these different crazy styles and colors and all that. And it was perfect. I loved it. So whatever you need to do to find your joy, do it.
For sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we have any comments? Yes. A lot of people are saying yes. Yes. And actually one thing that I don't miss about not being on treatment. So, there's that. But we are coming to the end, everyone.
Yeah, I think we've run out of time.
I know.
This was so fun, Tamika. It was so good to see you. The last time I think I saw you, we were on the Today Show together. Yes, can you believe that?
I know. Wow. Time flies. Absolutely. Yeah. But it won't be the last time you guys see us. So don't worry about that. Hopefully you guys will follow us on Instagram. I'm Tamika Talks. She is the Daily Lindsay. Yes.
Yes. And a big thank you.
I want you guys to enjoy the rest of the summit.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye. Have a great one.